All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. In this webinar, we're going to be talking about modules in Canvas. Modules are one of the best features about Canvas because they allow us to organize course content. So we're going to start by talking a little bit about everything you can do in modules and showing you some teacher examples. And then we'll jump in on how you can create your modules and the different types of materials you can add to them and how you can publish and unpublish modules to help keep track of what students should see and when. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to go ahead and present here. And I am going to show you a couple of sample teachers courses. These are real courses with students in them, and show you an example of what this looks like. So inside of every course on the left-hand side, when you're under the modules section, this is a place where you can create modules. Think about them almost like topics or a place to organize all the stuff you make in your class. So throughout this webinar series, we've talked about how to create pages, how to create quizzes, assignments. And you'll see down the left, there are discussions, there are files, there's some other categories there. This helps you take all of those items and organize them in a linear fashion so students can pace through the course and can easily find the materials that they want. So you're taking those things and you're organizing them there. In this sample class, you can see as you kind of go down, this particular teacher has it organized with unit names. So the module is the unit name. Then within it, you can see there are a variety of items. Some are links, some are quizzes, some are pages and assignments here. You can see she's also included what's called a header, which we'll talk about how to add those. So a header just divides that content up so you can easily see what to do under each section. You'll also notice that she's included some emojis in there to help direct students visually where they need to go. So if there's a video for them to watch, she has a little video icon there. You'll also see the green check marks means something is published. So we can see all this material is published here. In fact, if we go up and turn on what's called student view here, we can see for the students what these modules look like. Okay, so we can see here for the students how everything is organized so they can find exactly what they need to find and get into that material. I'm going to go ahead and leave student view now, and we're going to jump over to one more course. So here's a middle school math course. You can see here the teacher has also used the units, okay, here as the module titles. And then we can go down and see some naming conventions here. So she does homework number 4, homework number 4. She uses parentheses. So there's some consistency here with how she's organizing materials. So let me jump into one of my courses now and talk a little bit about how to make modules. So again, in my course, I am under the module section. And just like with most of our tools here, in the top right, we're going to see you have a plus module button. Now, if you don't have any modules yet, you're just going to see a big button that says upload material or click to make a new module. So again, when we're thinking about creating modules, think about how you want to divide your course content up. Some teachers will do this by week. So each module will have a different set of dates. So week 1 in the dates, week 2, etc. Some teachers do it by units. So if there's certain units to your class or themes or different sections of information, maybe you have a resources unit or communication unit module, you can divide those up there. So I'm going to click my plus button to make a module. And when I do this, I'm going to always have to put in the module name. So in this case, I'm making a course about Canvas, and I still need to create a module about learning about modules. So what I'm going to do in here is I'm actually going to click on my keyboard to bring up my emojis. So if you have a Mac device, it is the function button. If you're on a Windows device, it's Windows and period, or you can jump out to a website like emojipedia.com. You don't have to use emojis. I like to use them just as a visual here. So I'm going to look for one that's about files, okay, because modules are about organizing. And then I'm calling mine organizing content with modules. And I can put a space there, check my spelling. All right. Now you're going to notice there are a couple other buttons here. In this intro video, we're not going to talk about this, but just so you know, You can lock modules and you can add what's called prerequisites, meaning kids would have to finish another module before opening this module I'm making. So when I click make, this adds to the very bottom, and I can already tell here that I made a spelling mistake. So 3 stacked dots allows me to go in and then edit the name of the module at any time. So 3 stacked dots, I can edit the name. I'm going to click update module again, and now that's fixed. You'll see with a blank new module, it says I can just drop files right here from my computer or choose files to upload. I'm going to go to this plus button though. So next to the module and this name is my add content button. And this is what my module adding window looks like here. And you'll see there's a drop down, add blank to this module. When I use the drop down, I have a number of selections I can make. This is all of the different types of content I can add to a module. So assignments, quizzes, files, pages, all of that. We're going to start with a page first. So I'm just going to use my drop down. What's going to load here is any page that I've made from inside of my course. So any page that already exists in my course shows up here, or I can make a new page on the fly. I'm going to go ahead and click and select a page that I've already created. So I'm going to select that there. You can see on this menu, I can also choose to indent that item over right now. I can always do this later as well. And then I'm going to add the item. So there you're going to see, here's my page. If I click it, in fact, it's going to open it up and I can check out and see what I've added to the page. So I'm going to go back here. Now I'm going to add a second item. Okay, so this time I'm going to grab an assignment that I've created already about modules, and I'm going to add that. Okay, you can add items to more than one place. So if there is a study guide, that's up in a module earlier, but then there's one with a test and I want to bring the study guide down again, I can add an item to more than one module, which is pretty cool. Let me show you what it's like to create an item on the fly. Okay, so let's say I need to include another page on here that I haven't made yet. So I'm going to use my drop down and I'm going to select page. This time, because I don't have the page made yet, I'm going to go to create page. Remember, anytime you're creating a page, a quiz, a discussion board, an assignment, I could always on the left-hand side go to the tool. So I could have clicked page, and then I could have selected to create a new page. And then I could have then made that page and then gone back to modules and then added the page. So that's what you saw me do earlier with those 2 items I added. I already had those made. But if I want to create an item, what I call on the fly here, I'm just going to say create new page. And this looks the same, by the way, if I'm going to go to a discussion or if I'm going to go to an assignment. I'm just selecting the create a new. But in this case, again, I'm going to make a new page. It's going to ask me to give the page a name here. So more info about modules. I can indent, I add it. Now, when I create on the fly, like I did here, I still have to click into that page and actually add something to it because right now it's blank. So I would go in, I would then press my edit button, and then I would press save, right? And then I can return to the module and continue to add my items. So again, another cool thing about modules is it can improve your workflow if you want to go the workflow of just creating those items right from the module, kind of up to you. Let's go ahead and see what else we can add to the module. So we talked about adding assignments, quizzes, pages, discussions. Those are pretty much the same workflow. Files, so if you have a PDF, let's say, that's saved on your computer or some kind of Word document, and you wanted to upload it here for students, you'll see any file that you've ever uploaded, including images, to this course is going to show up here to select, or I can upload a new file from my computer if I want to. So I could choose a file here to upload if I wanted to do that. The other 2 options I want to talk to you about are external tool and external URL. Let's start with URL. Okay, so in this case, I have a website that I want to share out. I want to show them how they can get to the Tech Hub to learn more about modules. So I went ahead and opened this page, and I'm going to copy the link here. So I'm just doing a Command-C or Control-C. I paste the URL there. So what it will do here is it actually will embed it on a page for me if I want. So here I'm going to say maybe Tech Hub modules resource. And then I can choose to have this load in a new tab. So when they click it, it'll load in a new tab, or you can have it load on the page. That's kind of up to you. And then I can choose if I want to indent. So then I add the item. Now you'll see there's a little link icon indicating that that is a link. So when you click it, it will open that page in a new tab. Now, if I would have selected not to open in a new tab, it would have been embedded on that page. Okay, so that's what that kind of looks like there. The other item, our option I want to show you, is an external tool. This one is really convenient if you have, let's say, something saved on your Google Drive that you want to put in here for students. So I created a Google slideshow about modules that I want to add to the module here. And so it's embedded kind of nicely on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find Google Drive. You want to find the Google Drive one that says Google Assignments on it. So we're going to choose this second Google Drive option. When we do this, it's going to have you the first time authorized. Then I'm going to be taken to a place where I can select that drive item. So I actually want to find here it is, my presentation about modules. And I'm going to go ahead and press add. Here's the cool part. Because I'm using this tool from Google, it's saying, if you do this, it's going to give everybody view access, which is what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and say attach. And then, okay, now it's added the URL here. It's done all the work for me. And then I'm going to press add item. Okay, I chose not to open it in a new tab. So check out what happens here when kids click it. This is pretty cool. So when it's clicked, it just embeds it right there. And look, you can just click through and view all the information. And it keeps kids right inside of Canvas, which is, one of the best things about Canvas is you can embed everything right in there. Kind of like the Home Depot where all your tools come together. One other item I want to talk to you about that you can add to a module. So I'm going to click my plus button again. This is a text header. So we actually looked at this when we were on, let me jump over here, when we were on the sample teacher page. So you can see this teacher has divided up the units with weeks using the text header. So when you see week 2, August 24th through 28th here, that's a text header. So how you add those, you're going to say text header, then you type in what you want it to say. So maybe this is the practice section. I'm going to add that, and then I can put all of the practice under that section. With any item that you add to a module, you have 3 stacked dots hanging out next to it. And this is going to allow you to edit, increase, or decrease the indentation that you have. You can also move the items or remove them. One note here, when you remove a page, an assignment, a quiz, you're not actually deleting it. You're simply taking it out of the module. So if I remove this module's assignment here, it's not actually going to delete it. I'm still going to find that assignment under my assignments section here. So even if I remove it from the module, it's not going to delete it. I would have to go into assignments and delete it there. This just allows me to take these things and organize them for students. It almost creates like a linking system to link them to that assignment page, that content page, or whatever it may be. Okay, so just so you know, if I remove, I'm not deleting. Notice with some of these items too, I have more options. So the links allow me to edit, move. But with some of these, I can also send them to another teacher. I can copy them to another course. So I can share it to comments. I can duplicate it so I can move it somewhere else. You'll also notice with every item in your module, you can grab on the left-hand side, move that item to another module, or rearrange it within the module. And that's just pressing down on it, holding, and moving it. With the module itself, you also have your gripper, so you can rearrange those. The other important thing to know about modules is you choose when students can see that module and access that information. And that's with the publish and unpublishing option. So you'll see right along the module title, there's a little cross through here. And if I hover over it, it's telling me if I press that button, it's going to publish. So the green check mark is kind of like the old school Moodle. It's the eye open. Students can see it. When I turn that off, students cannot see it. You can even go more in depth with items in the module. So right now, as you look at this module here, students would not be able to see any of these items in the module because the main module is unpublished. So if I press this, now students can see every item. If I want to hide some of these items, maybe this year, I don't want to show them these two options, I'm just going to unpublish those, and immediately students will not see that in the module. Don't forget, you always have the ability to enter student view. This is a really helpful tool because it shows your class as a student would see it. So if you want to double check that students are only seeing some of the modules that they need to see, that's a great way to do it. What makes modules so great, let me jump over to the sample teacher to show you. You can see here that this teacher has so many items in so many modules, and that's because this is for the whole year. But you can see here that she's unpublished so many of them for students. So this allows a teacher to really work ahead. You can create modules ahead of time and then just publish them when you're ready. And that way, all of your content is there and organized ahead. And this also means as students are working out through the year, if there's items they no longer need, you can unpublish those items. So you can make it easier for students to see what they need to see, which is really awesome. So again, this particular webinar was all about taking those items you've already learned to create, the assignments, the discussion, the pages, the quizzes, the files, and it allows you to organize them for students. Our next webinar is about settings, and this one's really powerful with using modules because it allows you, and you'll see Sam's going to talk to you about the settings, but it allows you to hide assignments and pages and quizzes, those extra buttons from students, because you're showing them what they need when they need it by organizing those items inside of modules. All right, so we're wrapping up now. If you have any questions, as always, the Tech Hub is a great place to go, or you can reach out to your tech coach. We really believe that modules are, best practice for organizing all the stuff in your class. So if you have any questions about modules, don't be afraid to reach out. Thanks for sticking around this journey as we learn more about Canvas.